Hello, friends, and welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. Stories about crazy customers never get boring. Our OP ran into an olive lady who wasn't satisfied with the price and decided to make a scene in the store. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. Crazy Olive Lady. Preface. I work in a large Australian grocer in the deli department, and one of our largest sellers are antipastos and olives. Recently, one of our suppliers has made the bold decision to increase the price of one type of olive from $16 per kilogram to $70 a kilogram. A week ago, as I'm closing up and preparing to leave, a lady approaches my desk and gets my attention. Being keen to leave, I hurry over to serve her and was relieved when she said that she only wanted a small container of said olives. I began to tub up her order when the following conversation occurs. Me for me and COL for Crazy Olive Lady. COL. That price isn't right. They're meant to be $16 per kilogram. Me. Yeah, unfortunately the supplier has just increased the price. COL. Well, I want it at the correct price because that's not right. Me. I admit it does look ridiculous, but that price is completely correct. I then went on to put the price up on the scale to further prove my point and asked if she needed a manager's assistance, to which she replied that she didn't have a millennium and stormed off. Fast forward to tonight, and almost at the exact same time she arrived last week, she was back. COL. I see that you haven't fixed your incorrect price yet. Me. Hi there. Insert forced smile here. I've actually double-checked with the department manager since you last came in, and the price is direct from our head office, so we can't change it even slightly. But that price is right. COL. Well, competitor supermarkets selling them for the right price at $16 per kilogram. Me. Okay, well, I can call them and confirm that price and match the price if you'd like. COL. I should get them for free then, right? The scanning code of practice says that items that scan at a different price to the marked price should be free. Me. Unfortunately, that doesn't apply to price matches, sorry. COL. Well, I'm not interested then. She then proceeded to storm off, demand a manager, and get told the same thing by the manager. Some people really can never be happy. And our second story. Karen thinks she owns the sidewalk. This happened a long time ago, but I was recently reminded of it. EL is entitled lady, me is me, Eva is cat. I used to have a leash-trained cat named Eva who loved going on walks. I'd take her to this nice little trail that looped around a pond, but only had street parking, so I'd have to park my car a little up the street and walk maybe 60 feet on the sidewalk to reach the beginning of the path. I was leaving the path and we were on the sidewalk heading back to my car when this happened. When we turned off the path to the sidewalk, I spot EL walking two golden retrievers heading towards us. Since Eva didn't give a damn about being around well-behaved dogs, we continued walking in her direction to my car. We were about 80 feet away when the dogs notice Eva and start going nuts. They were barking, pulling at their leashes, and trying to lunge forward to get at her. EL wasn't doing anything to control the dogs. She didn't even try moving them off to the side, shortening their leash, or telling them to stop, anything. Instead, she let them pull her towards us and even started doing a little trot to let them run at us. I have Eva heel and stay near my feet so I can pick her up, just in case. They get closer, and she's still not doing a damn thing to hinder that, so I move off the sidewalk and into the street. She began letting them off the sidewalk to angle towards us. At that point, they're almost to us, so I scoop up Eva. Only then, when they're snarling and lunging at me, does EL try to control them and hold them back. I was trying to GTFO when this shrill harpy decided to open her gapping maw and yell, "Leave! You can't be here!" Me. What the hell did you just say? EL. You can't have your cat here! I was already walking away from her, but then EL turned around and let the dogs follow after me to continue trying to attack us. This was all yelled at my back as I tried to get even to the safety of my car. Me. This is public property. EL. No, this is where I walk my dogs. Me. And this is where I walk my cat. I have my cat in the car at this point, and am yelling this through a cracked window while her dogs are jumping on the side of my car, still trying to attack us. EL. Illegally? You can't have her here. Me. WTF are you talking about? EL. Your cat hurts dogs. You can't be here. Don't come back. The rest of our exchange was her trying to say that it was illegal for me to walk Eva there because it excited dogs, and she had walked her dogs there for years and she lived nearby, so it was her sidewalk. By saying my cat hurt dogs, she was referring to the strain the collar put on their necks when she was holding them back from attacking us. She said she would call the cops on me for walking my cat, and I told her to go ahead and call them so I could report her dogs for being aggressive. That stopped her for a second, but as I was driving, she was screaming threats at me about me bringing my cat back. Not gonna lie, I'm petty. For the rest of my time living in that crummy town, whenever I passed her walking her dogs, I would slow my car down, honk my horn, and set the dogs off, then flip her off and set her off. Always gave me a smile to see her getting yanked around by her Goldens while screaming at the top of her lungs. What's wrong with people like this? And our next story. That was a roller coaster from start to finish. During high school, I worked as a customer assistance clerk, aka a bagger, at the local grocery store. Wasn't a bad job. Ask paper or plastic, put groceries in bag, don't break the eggs, load groceries into the car, bring in a couple of carts. Didn't pay well, but wasn't too hard either. There were only a couple bad things about the job. The first one was the tips. If the customer offered a tip, which they often did, we had to refuse it because of the company's strict no tipping policy. Take a tip and get fired. Weird thing was, people got offended when you refused to take their tip. The second bad part was a regular customer we call Karen. She was a choosing beggar. She tried to use expired coupons and wanted us to price match a competitor's sale flyer from several weeks ago. Manager gets called. She would eat cherries and grapes as she went through the store and then pay, by weight, for what was left in the package. We'd catch her and she'd deny it. She would overload her cart to the point it damaged products, which she would then want the item discounted or free. Manager gets called. She'd watch us bag her groceries like a postmenopausal hawk and tell us how to do our jobs. Meat needs to be double bagged. Don't put all those cans in one bag. Don't crush my potato chips. Karen, I completed the putting crap in a bag course when I got hired. I got this. On this particular day, my friend Tony got stuck bagging her groceries. She switched from paper to plastic after he'd bagged half her groceries. He goes back and rebags her groceries. He had to put everything in a different cart because the one he picked didn't look clean enough. Cashier gives her the total and she loses her crap. Prices are too damn high and the store's trying to rob her. She demands to know why she didn't get double coupons. Cashier explains that Double Coupon Tuesday is in fact only on Tuesday, not on Thursday. Apparently Karen couldn't make it on Tuesday, so we should give her double coupon values on Thursday. Manager gets called again. Manager explains the complicated Double Coupon Tuesday is, in fact, only on Tuesday, not on Thursday, policy to Karen. Karen says, F it, then I don't want any of it. At this point, the manager just surrenders. Give her double coupon value just to get her out of the store. Cashier's PO'd, Tony's PO'd, customers in line Karen are PO'd. As Tony's putting her groceries in her car, Karen says to Tony, be careful loading my groceries, and don't be expecting a tip from me. Tony says, company policy prohibits us from taking tips. Tony should have stopped there, but he didn't. He then says, besides, what would I do with your last dollar? Karen begins to boil. She says she's going to go inside and tell the manager that he demanded a tip. Karen waddles off angrily. Now, Tony could have gone inside and spoken to the manager. Manager might have believed him, especially since the manager knew Tony was a good guy and that Karen was a total wackadoodle. Instead, Tony said, F it. Karen storms in, grabs the manager, and we all watch through the big window as Tony starts slamming bag after bag into the trunk of her rusted A Cadillac sedan DeVille while cussing like a drunken Norwegian. Food's flying everywhere, soda's exploding, boxes are ripping open, the eggs, oh dear Lord, the eggs. Karen, for once, is speechless. Manager's speechless. Hell, everyone's speechless. Tony walks in, takes off his apron, and hands it to the manager. He turns to Karen and says, "Have a nice day, come again." Then he flips her the bird and walks out into retail history. And our last story. Entitled person demands that I be arrested. Apparently, I'm a criminal. I work for a law enforcement agency in a pretty wealthy area, and the people can be a bit entitled. But not all. I've worked several jobs since I finished school, like dispatcher, records department, and finally moved into my current role, which is a hybrid of IT and equipment. I do all the testing and issue reports on non-tactical ballistic items that we use. My biggest task is the vehicles themselves. Now, currently, we're testing out back seats for the patrol cruisers. If you've ever seen one, they're generally just plastic and very uncomfortable. They aren't meant for comfort, but problems do arise due to how slippery they are. The primary goal is easy to clean up and nearly impossible for someone to try and conceal an item in the crease of cushions on a normal car. So a new vendor approached us with a new material that goes in the back. It's non-stick and has some cushioning underneath, so they install it on one vehicle. And I call up the officer who handles tactical ballistic equipment purchases to schedule testing the vehicle out. Per our city's guidelines, we have to test it for a minimum of 12 hours in addition to testing that the manufacturer has done. So I arranged with the officer to spend part of 2 days driving around, alternating with me sitting in the back, handcuffed, and also him in the back, not handcuffed. I was simulating the role of a detained person in custody, while the officer would be playing the role of a witness who was being transported. Also, we'd get in trouble legally if I cuffed him for the simulation, so problem solved. The first day went by okay, but the complaint we both had was that it's a bit unrealistic to be sitting in the back of the car for more than 30 to 45 minutes, as it virtually never happens. Also, it's basically a yoga mat you're sitting on, but denser material, so not much padding. So on the second day, I brought a pillow from home for my back. Fused vertebrae? When we were just about finished with the second day, it was around lunch, and we decided to get lunch. The officer parks in front of a restaurant and lets me out and uncuffs me. I said, "Thank you, Jeeves. Can you please get the door and we'll be off?" Unfortunately, an older woman, probably late 60s, heard this and thought I was ordering a cop around and treating him like a servant. She screamed at the top of her lungs that criminals like me don't get to order cops around, that I obviously must be a criminal. The officer tried to explain that I work with him and it was a joke. Nope, she's not buying that, not even when I get out my ID to show her. Nope, she's convinced I'm a criminal. She calls 911 and demands that the chief come out and explain these shenanigans. Yeah, not happening. The watch commander comes out, explains it, and scolds me and the other officer for making jokes while in an official capacity. The woman is absolutely incredulous that we weren't going to be arrested and terminated on the spot. So, of course, she smacks the watch commander and demands he do his job. So someone got arrested. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.